Welcome to the Women's National League Wrap. I'm joined today with Emma Duffy, just the two of us, but we'll manage. Going to start with talking about the Shelburne game. Another 5-0 win for them, another clean sheet, a really, really good performance. But focusing maybe on one of the key players, especially this weekend, Noelle Murray. Do you think she's just coming back to her best? She's really commanding things up there. How influential will she be this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Noelle was fantastic the weekend and has been. It's fantastic to see her back to her best. Obviously, one of the best players in the league through the years, and it really just shows how important that experience is. Has really steadied the ship. Is all over the place, putting in tackles here, there, and everywhere, and popping up with goals too. But yeah, hugely important going forward. Like, she knows the league inside out. She knows what it takes to win. So I think, yeah, she's going to be huge for Shells over the next few months. Obviously they were excellent the weekend. I think really clinical against Galway and showed a serious belief. 5 different scorers, real momentum behind them now to really mount a challenge, which they'll be delighted with. But I think, yeah, a funny part I suppose was the penalty. And it wasn't like Noelle, to give up a penalty. I think so many people were saying it. But I was listening back to an interview she did with the WNL show just this morning, and she explained that normally she'd be asked if someone else could take it, and she'd say no. And Saoirse asked, and she said, look, yeah, why not? And she said that if she hadn't scored herself, she would have been raging. But yeah, her goal then just, I suppose, put the icing on the cake. It was fantastic, lovely chip, and showed kind of great confidence and audacity to take it on, and deserves great credit for that.
Yeah, and I think that experience that she has will be a great kind of asset for the younger players as well. You can see that Shelburne have no issues introducing their younger players into the team this year. And with Noelle around, they're going to learn so much from her. And even with Saoirse coming in this year, Noelle giving her that bit of confidence by letting her score or letting her take penalty and then scoring. She's kind of like maturing as a player and going to be that role model for other people on the team as well, I think.
Yeah, I fully agree. I suppose, Shelburne have that nice blend, I guess, of youth and experience, as you say. And you look at Noelle, you look at Pearl Slattery, Ciara Grant, girls who have been around the league for years now. And then there's that fine balance with younger girls coming through, the likes of, as you say, Saoirse, Jessica Zhu, Emily Whelan. Like, you could go on for days. They have a fantastic squad there assembled. And I think they're really starting to click and show that belief, I guess. Maybe last year there was probably that little bit of fear of losing, but this year, they're clinical and they're going out to win. And I think that's just shown in what Noel King has brought to the setup. And, I'd expect them to drive on now and to really, really mount a challenge. So it should be an exciting few months, definitely.
Yeah. And then talking about Peamount, who are obviously probably the toughest team to beat at the moment, but it's kind of becoming a trend that maybe they're not performing as well in the first half as they are in the second half. Teams are kind of holding them to 0-0 going in at half time. Cork went in at half time with them 1-1, but then they really just switch it up a gear in the second half. But do you think that maybe that could be something that teams capitalize on, that might be a way to beat Peamount?
Potentially, yeah. Look, I suppose going against the best, you're always going to look for weaknesses. There's not too many there, but that is probably just becoming a bit of a common trend. But like, it's like they click a button and they can just turn it on. Like,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable to watch. But I do think credit to Cork. They had a great first half. They went in with a game plan, they executed it, and they'll take good confidence from that, and plenty of positives. But look, Peamount, I think it's their 13th WNL win in a row, and it just shows how dominant they've been. Eleanor Ryan Doyle scoring for fun, same with Anya O'Gorman, and even just looking like Shelburne, the strength and depth they have is something serious. And they're introducing younger girls every single week. Fantastic structures there at the club. So yeah, it will be interesting to see if a team can capitalise on that. But I think Peamount will be fairly content that they can switch it on when they want as well, and turn on the style.
Yeah, definitely. But as you said, credit to Cork. I think they had a really, really great performance. And I think up until Peamount got their second goal, there were definitely periods where Cork were on top. And shout out to Eva Mangan as well, just 16, getting her first Women's National League goal, which is amazing for her. And then moving on to Wexford, who had another huge goal scoring performance, introducing Lauren Kelly back into the squad as well. Who do you think is going to be their most influential attacking player when it comes to games like in 2 weeks' time they're coming up against Shelburne?
Yeah, that's a big question. Like, they have plenty of talent there in their attacking ranks. As you mentioned, Lauren Kelly back, great to see her, 2 fantastic goals. Then you've the likes of Kylie Murphy, Ellen Malloy, even Ciara Rossiter attacking from left back. Like, she was fantastic the weekend again. That lovely cross into Kylie for the header home. Aisling Crawley too. Like, there's any amount of players there. I don't know honestly who's the most influential. I'm not sure. Like, I probably tend to go with Kylie Murphy. Everything kind of goes through her going forward. And then likewise coming back too. But I suppose probably she gets them going and makes them tick, and is generally at the heart of all of their attacking moves. So I probably would go with Kylie. But as I mentioned there, the 4 or 5 others, there's any amount of them.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a strength of theirs, having so many different goal scorers and so many options going forward. They're really, really coming into their stride, and beating teams by 7-1 is just incredible, and it's going to give them so much confidence and stuff. But then DLR Waves, who are kind of solidifying themselves as the next challenger for those top 3, but they're also making it a trend of kind of scoring early and hanging on to that lead, which is not an easy thing to do at all in this league. How good is their defense, and is that kind of a credit to them that they're holding on to these 1-0 leads, or do they need to be focusing on getting more goals throughout games?
Yeah, like it would probably be nicer, to build up a little bit more of a lead. When you score 1, can you score 2, 3, 4? But like, that will come as well. But as you say, absolute credit to the defence. Like, they've been solid the last few years, and they've come on another level this year. I think the addition of Jess Gleeson has been fantastic. Herself and Niamh Barnes were solid there the weekend, and great to see Katie Burtis back to her best as well. But even obviously Carly McManus with the early goal, she was unlucky not to get another hit the post later on in the game. And then I think as well, just I mentioned must go to Eve Badana, excellent in goal. I think it's 3 clean sheets at this stage she has. So yeah, they've been really, really solid at the back, and it's probably now just about taking those next steps forward and seeing if they can grab a few more goals. I know they've had a few setbacks through injury and stuff like that in their attack, but I think Graham Kelly will be pretty happy with how his side have come out so far in the league, and it's just about driving on from here and building, and as you say, solidifying probably that top 4 spot. The top 4 at the minute, there's no changes at the top. They all won this weekend, so it'll just be exciting to see, I suppose, if there is any change going forward, but they'll all be pretty happy with where they are right now.
Yeah, we've talked a lot today kind of about attacking forces and things like that, and the Golden Boot race is really heating up. So I just want to ask, who at this early stage would you predict to be the Golden Boot winner by the end of the season?
Yeah, there's a nice race going on there, definitely. I think for me, I'll predict Eleanor Ryan Doyle, but it could be any one of those that are there at the minute. But as I said earlier, she's scoring goals for fun, and it doesn't look like she's going to slow down anytime soon. I think it's herself and Rachel Kieran's top on 6. I know Rachel struggled with a bit of an injury after that incredible start she's had in returning to the league, but I'd imagine she'll have the shooting boots back on once she gets back. So it should be an exciting race. You have Ella Malloy, Kylie Murphy, Anya O'Gorman, loads in there too. So yeah, it just depends how things go over the next few weeks, I guess. But I think I'm gonna tip Eleanor Ryan Doyle for the Golden Boot.
Yeah, I think I might agree with you on that one. It's just she's so consistently scoring all the time. But obviously then there are players like Rachel and Ellen who can go into a game and score 4 goals. So you just never know what's going to happen. But I think Eleanor is probably a good shout. But yeah, that's all for this week, a wrap on this week. And thanks so much for coming on and sharing all your thoughts again. And hopefully see you again soon.
See you then, Alice. Thank you.